gardeners. Well, we're in the countdown to the frost. We're inside probably 4 weeks to our expected first frost here in coastal Virginia. So we have some things that are playing footloose and fancy free with it. The first one here are some of our beefsteak tomatoes. These are going a pound plus in weight, and there is a huge one right underneath there that's well over a pound. But we have two problems. It's getting cooler at night. It got down below 50 degrees last night. But we think we've got 3 weeks or so. So what happens is, the moment we see any color on the base here, if it starts going to pink or orange, we harvest them before the bugs find out. We just pulled a beautiful tomato that had a tomato hornworm digging in the side of it. It happens, especially in organic. But we'll pull them off and finish the ripening process inside. And if we lose some, we lose some. But these are great late season bloomers here. It's been really fun watching them come up a little bit too late because we had a late frost early on, and that pushed the entire timetable of the garden back. But a couple of things are growing really well. Besides the tomatoes, we have our fall crops here. We have 12 cabbage that survived former Hurricane Ian. By the time he got up to us, it was just a 40 to 60 mile an hour blow, which, by the way, lost us all of our scuppernongs, blew them all off. Happens. So we've got 12 of the cabbage that have survived, including a couple of reds. So this will add some variety to our cabbage diet. But the big winner has been the butterhead, also known as butter crunch lettuce. We harvested 1.5 pounds just off of the plants from here over. These last new 6 or 7 we have not harvested from. So lettuce, this is the perfect time. Cool in the night, sunny in the day. They will grow by leaps and bounds. We're just about done with the summer squash. We just picked one small one off today. These guys are we're beginning to clear it out, as you can see. But here's another quick crop, radishes. We now have 3 full rows of radishes, and we have added radishes due to this right here. The formerly known as really big radishes, we now have all of these radish pods with seeds on them. There. So we just broke these open, and there's 3 or 4 seeds in each one of them that seem to be viable. Some of them are germinating inside the pod, so we've just planted those to extend these rows out, so we got an extra 20 or so radishes in. Here is our fennel that's growing up, and if you look all around inside here, you can see where radishes and Swiss chard have been growing because the seeds have been dropping off of the old parent plants that we let go to seed. Here's a few right here. We have managed to clear away a fair amount of the weeds, but over here we have a bunch more, and as you can see, they look grim, but they're going to survive the winter. And there is our first bok choy. This is a bok choy, and last year we had bok choy plants, so it's nice to see that 1 or 2 of the bok choy seeds have come up. So we have a lot of things growing in autumn, and of course we're looking for butternut squash to ripen. We have put these little insulators underneath to keep them from getting too wet from ground contact on most of them. These are young ones. As you can see, they're pretty pale, and this is still green here. So the old fingernail test would work. If I can punch a fingernail through the skin, they're not ready. But some of these look like they're ready over here. Here we have some deep tan colors. This is the color we want, but notice that the stems are still green, or green streaked with light brown. These will go all the way to brown and dry up. So when the fingernail test works here and the stems are brown, then we can harvest. If we harvest too early, you'll see fluid leaking out of the stems, and if fluid can leak out, disease can get in. And that's what we don't want to have. We have 64 butternuts now, and we're just trying to bring them in before the harvest. frost. If it looks like they're not ready, we'll put a white tarp over it that will act as a mini greenhouse, and we'll see if we can't get them an extra week or two that way to ripen up. If not, we'll have to cut them off early, and then the chance of ripening indoors drops to about 50-50, which means we could lose half the crop. But on some like this one right here, you can see the stem is already yellowing. I think he will be ready in about 2 weeks, and we're at least 3 weeks away from first frost, unless we just have weird kind of weather. So that with the carrots, lettuce, cabbage, radish, squash, more squash, you can grow your own food. Thanks, everybody.